let it destroy you. And then years and years down the road, you can finally decide to do something about it. I think Matthew McConaughey said it. But if you want to find out who you are, start with the process of elimination. Start by finding out who you're not. The ego is inside of us to tell us who we are not. The goal in this life is to overcome that. And in overcoming that, we find out who we are. The ego is all about separation. The ego believes that we are all separate from each other, and it is obsessed with revenge and status and what everyone else think. A wise Hindu sage, I forget the name, but he said, if you want to fast track enlightenment, get in a relationship. And that's funny because relationships truly do expose every nook and cranny of the ego inside of our minds. Everything comes up. All the jealousy, supercharged jealousy, revenge, control, manipulation, possession. It will supercharge all those emotions. What you would see averagely as a successful relationship are people coping and still butting heads with this ego inside of them that can kind of make it work through life without it dissolving. I didn't have that endurance and the self-control to fumble my way through a successful relationship. It exposed parts of me that I didn't even know existed. When your ego initially puts so much emphasis on one person and becomes very possessive of that one person and very identified with having that person, people seeing you with them, what their life choices reflect on who you are, all this stuff. Then when it starts going downhill, your whole reality and your identity and everything you think you are starts to crumble with that because you're so dependent on the relationship. And that's whether you put her on a pedestal or had a mental idea of what it was going to be like and your expectations weren't met. It wasn't accomplishing the desires of the ego, which are 100% selfish and absolutely and completely about instant self-gratification. It has nothing to do with love, nothing to do with sacrifice, nothing to do with giving. Just because you've been through the lesson doesn't mean you've done the work to accomplish what that lesson was trying to teach you, right? Just because you've been through the class doesn't mean you have the skill. The skill comes when you implement those things that you learn. And that can take a long time, and sometimes you should have patience with yourself and let yourself work through it until you're ready to actually take on that challenge. And taking on that challenge is no easy task. Even if it is years and years post the time where it all happened, it's still just as difficult. But when you can step back and see it for what it is, you gain a peace about the experience. If you don't expose the issue, you can't ever solve the issue. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, for I am moving through this life day after day, taking on the challenges and the battles to improve myself. And if any of you relate to this, let me know. Support is the number one thing that I have found helps me through my journey. And fortunately, I am incredibly lucky to have a best friend who I call my brother, to laugh with, joke with, to fight with, cry with, all the things. But we are in this together, and we've both been through some crazy shit and have had very similar experiences and lessons in life and are guiding on a very similar path, which is why it works, which is why we can spend all our time together and still be functional and not insane. And if you need that support, I have a community. Hit me up down in there. And the community's not built out. It doesn't have anything in there yet. Very few things, a couple posts, but I'm starting it up. So check out that link if you're interested or in need of support. Don't have that. Otherwise, find a brother. Find someone on the same mission as you. And it will double your progression and your speed through life. This video is turning into a rant, and I don't know how much of this footage I'm going to use. But I was committed to come out here and film because I got some New Year's goals with the YouTube channel, with fitness, with my mental health and spiritual health. And I'm letting you guys come along for the journey. I think that's been one of the hardest parts about deciding to go with a publicly exposed journey. But I'm here to be authentic, and I'm not here to pretend that I'm someone that I'm not, and I'm not here to pretend that I have all the answers, because I don't. And I'm here to show that if I can do it, you can do it. And if you can somehow vicariously learn through my fumblings, perhaps you can have a smoother ride to that success that you're chasing. This has been a very insightful and fun experience for me, because if nothing else, these videos bring my concentration to the most vibrant level. I am very present and very conscious when I'm doing these, because there is like somewhat of an expectation that I put on myself and somewhat of an exposure that I really got to narrow and focus. I know it sounds silly, but something silly enough as turning on a camera and speaking to it, knowing it's going to be out there available for anybody to watch and reaching potentially hundreds if not thousands of people. This is good for me. And I hope that this content, as it develops and progresses, will be good for you too. Thank you for watching. And if self-development and action and an adventurous life, progressing in all the ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially even, if that interests you, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Noah out.
Great shot.
Hey, you're doing a great job. Proud of you. If you use this for anything, I'll fucking kill you.